In the past few months, I've been running my best games ever. My D&D, my Daggerheart, my Index Card RPG, my Dungeon Crawl Classics, they're all improving a lot. But I've got a weird problem. My parties, my heroic heroes of adventuring parties, they keep on siding with the baddies, instead of the player characters saying, "No, evildoer, we'll defeat you through the power of friendship." I end up with scenes like this.
You are out of options, brave heroes. Join my forces or die.
You know, after all due consideration,
Yar.
I think we will join you. The country is long overdue for a refresh of its bureaucracy anyway.
Yar.
What do I need to do to make truly evil baddies? How should I set up these antagonists for the heroic, upstanding heroes and get them to really, really hate them, to really despise these big bad evil folks, and to want to fight them and defeat them by any means necessary? Any self-respecting hero, our protagonists, they will have some value, some line in the sand that they will not, they must not, they cannot cross. As game masters, if we can find those things, then our baddies can begin to exploit them. Every value will have a contradiction. Life will have death. Justice will have tyranny. These can very easily be made into the foundations of what makes a good baddie. But to make someone truly memorable, to make someone abhorrent to the values of our characters, we need to look at that value, we need to look at that opposite, and then we need to go further. We need to do something and have them do something and go beyond the pale. If we take the value of life on one hand, we use death as its opposite. This is the basis of a Saturday morning cartoon. We've seen these stories 100 times before. But what makes things interesting is an antagonist who takes this to the extreme. Life, death, and then undeath. Something beyond the twisting, that corruption of life. This is something that a band of heroes will be compelled to fight against at every opportunity. As well as the linear idea of value, opposition, nasty thing, we also have some tangents to play with too. These tangents can be thought of as contrary. Well, what's contrary to life? Maybe immortality? Maybe being forced to kill. In fantasy game settings, creatures like the Fae can embody this. They're outside of this life and death cycle and have an odd, strange position and relationship with it. Putting the characters in a situation where they're forced to kill, making them act outside of their values, that's going to be something that will be really tough. As an example, say you have a character that's a druid who absolutely loves the forest. The baddie doesn't just cut it down. They salt the earth, they spill alchemy that befouls it, twisting it into something evil so that nothing natural can grow there ever again. I hate them already. In D&D terminology, it might be tempting to use monstrosities and aberrations, as they don't provoke any empathy in the characters. Certainly not in the way that having to attack a more mundane creature or humanoid would. But because they're so strange and different, they don't give the characters anything to hate. Say the value is family, connection, found family, the friends we make along the way. While the opposite of that would be isolation. A decent villain might use isolation to make the characters feel like they're alone, that nobody cares about them. A big baddie thinking of using the contrary position to family and connection, they could focus on apathy. Maybe however hard the characters try, they just can't get these people to like them. It might turn out later that the whole village is under some mind control spell, but in that moment that would really hurt this group. Having them induce paranoia in the party would be a really interesting way to go. The baddie could make them think, or at least put the idea in their head that, oh, my friends, they don't really like me at all. They only stick around me because I'm good with my sword, but I'm not really important to them. Am I? For this one in particular, please use safety tools. If you're not familiar with them, there's a really good article down below. So this is Edit by Rich, with proof that I wear other t-shirts sometimes, but also to announce that I am playing my first ever live actual play game on Sunday the 16th of February with definitely Not Goblins. We're playing at Blackfriars in Glasgow, starts at 8 PM, and I want to see so many of my Glasgow people there. It'll be so much fun. I've got my very own ticket link. Type in Rich is with a Z cool for 20% off. It promises to be a whole load of joy and nonsense, and I can't wait to see some of you there. Now, it's not enough to make an evil in the world, it's got to be personal. The dragon destroying the kingdom on the far side of the world, well, why should our party care? Why would the adventurers mind? They've got no particular skin in the game. To bring this home to our player characters, we can literally bring it home. Have that dragon destroy their home, their family, their loved ones, etc. Any reasonable person would give a damn in this situation. And heroic heroes, well, they will rise to the occasion. A tried and true method of getting under the skin of your players is to attack things on their character sheet that aren't just their hit points. With all their hard work building up their character's stats, attacking their wisdom, attack their intelligence can be very, very mean. Stealing their favourite magic item is good, but might feel frustrating. But if you're feeling creative, why not steal their name? Why not steal their reputation, their standing in the world? Why not steal their lover's memory of them? There is so much to play with, and a whole variety of different ways of being mean. I can feel myself smiling just talking about it. It's even more fun as a GM to have an enemy that takes an interest in the party, especially if they're way, way more powerful to begin with. The party are going to feel frustrated. They're going to feel useless against this seemingly unstoppable foe. But as the campaign goes on, as groups level up, maybe, just maybe, they can defeat them. And by the time they get there, it'll be all the sweeter. If you're up for something nice and twisty, it could be a former employee. It could be the Warlock's patron. It could be anyone who was in a position of power compared to the party that then turns against them. One more example of these value systems for you. We have loyalty. Well, the opposite of that is going to be betrayal. That contrary position, well, that's maybe a split allegiance. That's, well, who are we loyal to? How do we find a way of getting around this? That's going to be another tough choice for your group. The truly nasty position, the one that the big bad evil one we all too keen to exploit? Self-betrayal, or betrayal within the party. Convincing a party to turn against each other. Well, if I was the villain in that piece, I'd be twirling my moustache, I'd be rubbing my hands with glee at that. A good adventuring party are intensely loyal to each other, and it's part of the conceit of a group TTRPG that it kind of demands it, otherwise the players would be running off in every direction. So loyalty is a really fun value to attack. Betrayal always hurts. There's some bonus points on offer here, some evil bonus points, if you can make the party think that in that moment it's the right thing to do. This structure of values and opposition, the contrary and the beyond the pale, this all comes from Story by Robert McKee. He's a Hollywood screenwriter with so much wisdom to share on all sorts of topics, and there's a link here to a video that I've done all about it. I actually quite enjoy that thumbnail, that's one of my good ones. Anyway, I'll see you there. My friends, my quest for snacks has been completed.
Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.